now we already have the block can be treated as a virtual wind tunnel. So in this part, we will do the grid generation. So we will see how to generate a grid in this geometry. Okay, so following the previous steps, what we need to do is click operations and right click, new, mesh, automated mesh. Okay, so we need to generate the grid within the subtract. Okay, so we need to highlight the subtract and we choose surface remeasure, automatic surface repair, and for the core volume measure, we use a trimmed cell measure. And of course, we want to resolve the boundary layer, so we need to choose prism layer measure. We can click OK. So now we need to set up the parameters about the automated mesh. So in order to visualize the mesh later, we can select the mesh and we will see. And we can also make it transparent. So you can see the existing mesh is like this. This is not good. Okay, so we need to do is change the base size, and the base size can be changed to, let's say, 0.5 meter in here. And also we want to have the prism thickness, because in this case it's a relatively small model, and we can just use absolute. And let's see the 0.01 and 0.01. So it's let's say 1 centimeter. So 1 centimeter, the boundary layer. Okay, so that's total thickness. And the number of prism layer, let's say 11. And stretching, this is quite big, so let's move it to 1.3. And basically for now, we are ready to go. We can just click this volume mesh button. And because it's quite big and domain, and we can see the mesh is like this. Okay. And so before we can check the mesh at internal part. For example, in the backward facing step. Now we also want to check the mesh, for example, at here, the mid plane of this wing. Then we need to derive parts, new part, section, and plane. Okay, so we want the plane cutting through the longitudinal domain. So we can set the origin first of all at 0, x, y, 0, and z. We keep it like this first of all, and the plane should be normal to the z-axis. So it's like this. Okay, so apparently we want to move the plane to here, so we need to change. And let's see, minus 0.3, minus 0.3. Oh, sorry, minus. We need to include the minus sign. Okay, so it's in here, and we don't need to be very precise. Then we just create once, remember, then close. Okay, so for now, we can have the derived parts, this plane. Okay, so in order to see the plane, we can go to the scene plot, and the section is in here, and we can enable the mesh. And to better visualize, we can disable the 3D mesh, and you will see like this. So this is a 2D mesh we have, and you can find it's very coarse, and it's apparently not really ideal. Okay, so we need to refine it. So in the next part, we will demonstrate how to do the mesh refinement around the front wing.